Chapter 1. Homefront Betrayal Staff Sergeant Jake Miller had just returned from a grueling 9-month deployment overseas, looking forward to some much-needed rest at his home in a quiet suburban neighborhood. But when he arrived at his own front door, duffel bag in hand, he was greeted by the sight of strangers barbecuing in his backyard. A woman stepped out, confused and alarmed, claiming she had leased the house through the HOA. Shock turned to rage as Jake realized the HOA had taken advantage of his absence, claiming his unattended property was in violation of some community upkeep clause, and then leased it out for profit. Despite showing proof of ownership and military orders, the HOA board smugly told him it was out of his hands. That night, sitting outside his own house with nowhere to sleep, Jake made a call to his platoon. Chapter 2, Operation Takeback the following weekend. While the neighborhood was quiet, a convoy of trucks rolled down the cul-de-sac. Jake's platoon 10 hardened soldiers with loyalty running deeper than blood had arrived in civilian clothes, but their discipline and strategy screamed military. They quickly secured the perimeter with tactical precision. The current tenants, frightened and unaware of the full story, were kindly escorted out and compensated by Jake's men for the trouble. Meanwhile, Sergeant Cruz and Corporal Daniels entered the HOA office, now manned only by 2 smug board members. With legal documents, body cams, and undeniable proof in hand, they made it clear this wasn't a hostile act, this was justice. Police were called by the HOA, but upon arrival and after reviewing the deployment orders, title deed, and a few phone calls to JAG lawyers, law enforcement simply nodded and left. The HOA was speechless. Chapter 3. The Aftermath and New Orders. Jake filed a lawsuit against the HOA for unauthorized leasing, emotional distress, and rental fraud, with his military status amplifying the legal damage. The story hit the news. Veterans home rented by HOA during deployment. Platoon steps in. Public outrage was swift. The board resigned in disgrace, facing criminal charges and massive fines. The tenants even testified in Jake's favor, stating the HOA never told them the home belonged to a deployed soldier. In the end, Jake not only reclaimed his home but was elected as the new HOA president in a community vote. His first order of business, rewriting the bylaws to protect homeowners especially veterans from ever being exploited again